Hello, sweetheart. There you are. Come closer to the sound of my voice. Not too fast. Just slowly enough that your body understands there is nothing urgent waiting for you here. This is not one of those rooms where you have to perform, explain yourself, defend your choices, or pretend you are more put together than you actually feel. And here you can soften. You can breathe. You can stop carrying that tense little version of yourself for a while. Good. That's already better. Let your shoulders drop just a little. You don't need to force relaxation. I know people always say that, and then it makes the whole thing feel like work. So don't work. Don't try to impress me. Don't try to do this perfectly. Just let my voice become the easiest thing in the room to follow. That's all I want from you right now. Easy listening, soft attention, a little bit of trust. You can sit back if you're sitting. You can lie down if you're already in bed. You can keep your eyes open, half open, or closed. I don't mind. I like when you choose whatever makes you feel most comfortable, because comfort is where honesty starts. And tonight, sweetheart, we're going to be very honest. Not harsh, not cruel, just honest in that warm, quiet way that feels a little too accurate. My name doesn't matter as much as the role I'm taking for you tonight. I am the calm woman in the room, the steady voice, the mature presence, the one who doesn't need to raise her tone to be heard. The one who can look at you and understand that maybe what you need is not more pressure, not more chaos, not more masculine noise. Maybe what you need is a softer authority, a feminine authority, a voice that knows how to hold you in place without making you feel trapped. That's the difference. Real control does not always sound aggressive. Sometimes it sounds like this: slow, warm, patient, certain. And you can feel the difference, can't you? You can nod for me if you want. Just a tiny little nod. Does my voice feel easy to listen to? Good. Does it feel easier when you don't fight the pace? Good. And when I speak to you gently like this, when I call you sweetheart, when I let the room become smaller and softer around you, do you notice your thoughts slowing down a little? That's all right. You don't need to analyze it. Analysis is for later. Right now, we are doing something much more delicate. We are teaching your body that it is safe to respond. Safe to relax, safe to be guided by a woman who knows exactly what she is doing. Take a slow breath in, hold it for just a moment, and let it leave you. Again, breathe in, hold, let go. There you are. That's the version of you I wanted to meet. Not the tense one, not the defensive one, not the one who jokes too much when he feels exposed. This one, the quieter one. The one who secretly likes when a woman takes the lead with confidence. The one who feels better when the rules are simple. The one who does not always want to decide, perform, push, chase, argue, win. Sometimes you just want to be guided. And there is nothing wrong with that inside this story. Nothing dirty about it. Nothing broken about it. Some people relax through silence. Some relax through music. Some relax through touch. Some relax through prayer. And some people like you, relax when a calm feminine voice gives them permission to stop trying to be in charge of everything. That is what we are doing. Permission, not force. Permission to soften. Permission to listen. Permission to let a mature woman's voice become the shape of the moment. Now I want you to imagine that I'm sitting very close, not touching you. I don't need to. My presence is enough. The room is warm. There is a soft lamp behind me, low golden light on the walls, the kind that makes everything look slower. Somewhere in the room there is a microphone, close enough to catch the little details of my voice. The breath before a sentence, the soft pause when I'm watching you, the faint smile when I know you're relaxing deeper than you expected. You notice my eyes first, not because they are harsh, because they are calm. That is what makes them difficult to ignore. A woman who is frantic can be dismissed. A woman who is calm and certain is much harder to resist. And you are not really trying to resist, are you? Answer honestly. Do you like this feeling? Do you like being spoken to like you are already understood? Do you like the way my voice makes the outside world feel less important? You can answer yes quietly, or just think it. Either way, your body hears you. Good. Now let your jaw relax. Let your tongue rest. Let your hands be still. There is a special kind of stillness that happens when a person stops preparing to defend themselves. That's the stillness I want from you. Not frozen, Not tense, just available, listening, present, soft enough to learn. Because tonight is not only relaxation, tonight is a lesson, a gentle one, a quiet one, but still a lesson. We are going to teach your nervous system that feminine authority can feel peaceful, not dramatic, not scary, peaceful. You have known too many loud versions of control. Men shouting, people demanding, work pressure, deadlines, expectations. That rough, ugly kind of authority that leaves the body tight and irritated. This is different. This is the authority of a woman who does not need to convince you she has power. She simply has it. She speaks and the room organizes itself. She looks at you and you become more aware of your posture. She gives a small instruction and some part of you feels relieved to follow it. That relief matters. Tells us something about you. It says that obedience, when it is wrapped in warmth and confidence, does not feel like losing yourself. Feels like putting something heavy down. So let's practice with something simple. Take one slow breath when I say now. Now. Good. Again. Now. Very good. Notice how easy that was. No drama. No debate. Just my voice, your body, and a tiny moment of cooperation. That is where everything starts. Not with big confessions. With small agreements. A breath. A pause. A yes. A little nod, a little softening, and then slowly the part of you that has been fighting all day realizes it does not have to fight me. It can rest under me, not beneath me in a cruel way, beneath me like shade beneath a tree, beneath me like quiet beneath music, beneath me like a tired mind finally finding a place to stop moving. That is the mommy feeling in this session. Not childish, not family, not anything like that. Mommy here means warm authority. A mature feminine presence. A woman who can soothe you and still expect you to behave. A woman who can be gentle without becoming weak. A woman who can say, relax for me, and make it sound like care and command at the same time. So relax for me, a little more. Good. I want you to imagine your day becoming less important now. Not disappearing completely, just moving farther away. The messages you haven't answered, the things you should have done, the mistakes you keep replaying, the responsibilities sitting in the back of your mind like boxes you don't want to open. Let them all wait outside the room. They will still be there later, but you don't have to hold them while you listen to me. That's one of the first gifts of submission, sweetheart. The clean kind, the relaxed kind. You stop gripping every single thing like it belongs to you. You let someone else set the pace. You let someone else decide what matters right now. And right now, I have decided that what matters is your breathing, your softness, and your willingness to be honest. So tell me silently, do you enjoy being guided by a feminine voice? Do you feel calmer when you don't have to lead? Do you like the idea of being good for a woman who speaks to you with confidence? Good. Do not rush away from that answer. Let it exist. Some truths are shy at first. They don't come crashing through the door. They stand quietly at the edge of the room, waiting to see if they are safe. This one is safe with me. You are allowed to enjoy softness. You are allowed to enjoy instruction. You are allowed to enjoy the feeling of a woman's voice becoming the center of your attention. Now imagine this. You are not at home anymore. You are inside a private wellness office, somewhere expensive and quiet. The carpet is thick under your feet. The curtains are closed. The air smells like vanilla, clean skin, and warm fabric. The city outside is blurred by glass, distant traffic reduced to a low, harmless hum. You came here for stress. That is what you told yourself. You came here to relax, to sleep better, to stop overthinking. And that is partly true. But when you saw me sitting in the chair across from you, legs crossed, posture calm, lips glossy, eyes patient but sharp, you understood there was another reason. You wanted to be managed, not controlled violently. Managed. Read. Held in place, taken out of that messy little storm inside your own head and placed somewhere simpler. My office does that to people. My voice does that to certain men. Maybe it is doing that to you now. You don't have to answer. I already know. You can feel the way your mind keeps returning to me. Even if a thought starts to wander, my voice gently collects it again, like fingertips gathering loose thread. No rush, no effort, just a slow return. Back to me. Back to the room. Back to the warm authority of the woman speaking to you. That's it. Now I want you to picture 3 doors in front of you. The first door says pressure. The second door says performance. The third door says permission. Do you feel yourself relaxing a little more when my voice gives you something simple to do? Good. Do you enjoy the feeling of not having to decide everything for once? That's all right. You don't need to be embarrassed. This is a therapy room, a private room, a room where the truth can be softer than the mask you wear outside. And I want you to notice the chair beneath you. Smooth, firm, holding you up. You don't have to hold yourself so tightly. Let the chair do its job. Let your shoulders drop. Let your hands rest. Let your jaw unclench. There's no need to impress me. I'm not impressed by men who perform. I'm impressed by men who can listen. And you are listening very nicely. Now keep your eyes open if you want to, or let them become heavy. Either way is fine. The important thing is not whether your eyes are closed. The important thing is whether your attention is here. With me, with my voice, with this quiet, warm, private atmosphere. Imagine the room around you becoming a little smaller. Not physically, just mentally. The outside world still exists, of course. Your phone, your responsibilities, your noise, your worries. But they can wait. For the next little while, they do not need to be the center. I will be the center. My voice, my rhythm, my calm, and you can simply follow. That's it. No force, no struggle, just following. A man like you doesn't need to be broken. That would be crude, wasteful, amateur. A man like you needs to be understood. And once he feels understood, he naturally becomes easier, more open, more honest, more willing to let the right woman take charge. There's a difference between being controlled and being taken care of. I want you to understand that difference. Being controlled feels rough when it comes from someone careless. But being taken care of by a woman who knows what she's doing, that feels warm, feels organized. It feels like your nervous system finally has somewhere to rest. A woman with experience doesn't need to shout. She doesn't need to prove she's powerful. She doesn't need to act cruel to be in charge. She can simply look at you and know. She can hear the hesitation in your voice. She can see the eagerness behind your eyes. She can tell when you want approval. She can tell when you want correction. She can tell when you want someone else to decide what happens next. And sweetheart, I can tell. That doesn't make you strange. It makes you readable. And tonight, being readable is useful. Now breathe again. Slowly. Let the air move in. Let it leave. Good. I want to ask you something simple. Do you feel calmer when a confident woman speaks slowly to you? You can say yes. Good. Do you feel your thoughts becoming softer when you don't have to argue? Good. Do you like when a mature woman sets the tone and you simply adapt to it? Very good. That's the beginning of trust. Not blind trust. Not foolish trust. But the kind of trust where your body says, I don't have to fight this. And that's what I want from you tonight. No fighting. No mental wrestling. No trying to prove you're above the experience. Just a calm willingness to be here. To listen. To relax. To allow yourself to be gently placed into a more submissive mood. Not degraded. Not harmed. Not pushed. Just softened. There is a kind of submission that is not dramatic at all. It doesn't need chains. It doesn't need insults. It doesn't need chaos. It can be as simple as a man sitting quietly while a woman speaks, and realizing that he feels better when he stops trying to control the room. That is the version I want you to feel. Relaxed submission. Comfortable submission. The kind that enters through the breath first, then the shoulders, then the chest, then the mind. A little less tension. A little less pride. A little less need to interrupt your own peace. Imagine now that I lean closer, not too close, just enough for my presence to feel real. My voice is calm. My face is relaxed. My eyes are steady. I am not asking you to be perfect. I am asking you to be honest. And honesty for you might sound like this. I like when she guides me. I like when she knows what I need. I like not having to be the strongest person in the room. I like feeling useful. I like being approved of. I like being told that I'm doing well. There is no shame in that. A lot of men are starving for approval because they never learned how to receive it without turning it into ego. But you can receive it differently. You can receive it quietly. You can let it warm you instead of making you arrogant. That is what makes you trainable in the best way. Not stupid, not weak, trainable, responsive, capable of learning a softer rhythm. Now imagine a normal day. Nothing extreme. You wake up in a world that has become a little more feminine in its structure. Not fantasy in a cartoon way. Not some loud, ridiculous world. Something more believable, more elegant. Women hold more authority because they learn to use emotional intelligence and discipline better. Offices feel cleaner. Meetings are calmer. The most powerful people in the building are women with smooth voices, expensive perfume, sharp schedules, and no patience for male chaos. You arrive at work and notice it immediately. The lobby is run by a woman who looks up from her desk and tells you where to wait. Not rude, just certain. And you wait, because her certainty makes obedience feel simple. Then you enter the elevator. A senior female manager steps in beside you. She is older than you, polished, composed, completely comfortable with being obeyed. She hands you a folder without even making a big performance of it. Hold this for me, please. And you do. Not because you are forced, because it feels natural. Because a request from a woman like that doesn't land in your mind as an inconvenience. It lands like a role. Something to fulfill. Something to do correctly. And when she takes the folder back and says, "Thank you, sweetheart," you feel that small warmth inside. That tiny reward. That proof that usefulness can feel better than pride. Breathe. Let that image settle. Another scene. You're at a cafe. The line is slow. A mature woman behind you sighs softly and asks if you would mind moving her bag forward while she checks her phone. A small thing. Nothing important. And yet, the moment you do it, you feel calmer. You like the simplicity. She needed something. You helped. No drama. No negotiation. Just service. A small act that gave your energy a direction. That is what submissive men often misunderstand about themselves. They think they want to be humiliated all the time. But often, what they really want is direction. Purpose. A woman's attention attached to a task. A reason to be useful. And the more relaxed you become, the easier it is to admit that. Now imagine another scene. A private therapy office. This room. This chair. Me watching you with patient eyes. I ask you to sit up a little straighter. You do. I ask you to relax your hands. You do. I ask you to breathe slower. You do. And each time you follow one small instruction, your mind receives the same quiet message. Following feels good. Being corrected feels safe. Letting her guide the pace makes everything easier. That is the mood I want you to keep. Soft, responsive, attentive, not mindless, just willing. A good submissive mood is not stupidity. It is focus. It is choosing to place your attention in the hands of someone who knows how to hold it. And I do know how to hold it. You can feel that, can't you? Good. Now let's go deeper into the idea of being taken in hand by experience. A younger woman might test you carelessly. She might tease because she wants to see what happens. She might push too hard because she doesn't yet understand restraint. But a mature woman, a woman with life behind her eyes, she knows the difference between pressure and guidance. She knows when to soften her voice. She knows when silence is more powerful than a command. She knows when a man needs comfort before he can obey properly. And that is why you relax more easily with this energy. Feels maternal without being weak. Warm without losing control. Gentle without asking for permission. This is not a girl trying to prove she is dominant. This is a woman who has already lived enough to know she is. And you feel that. You feel it in the way the room seems to slow down around her. You feel it in the way your thoughts stop running ahead. You feel it in the way you want to please her without needing to turn it into something childish or dramatic. Just a calm desire to be good. Now answer honestly. Do you like being good for a woman who knows how to guide you? Yes. Do you like when her calm makes your mind quieter? Good. Do you like the idea of being handled gently but firmly? Very good. Let that honesty become relaxing. No shame. No panic. Just truth. Now imagine her chair. Smooth leather. Soft shine under warm light. She sits comfortably, shoulders relaxed, arms resting naturally. as if she doesn't need to reach for power because power is already in the room with her. She looks at you and smiles a little. Not a huge smile, not a fake one, the kind of smile that says she sees exactly what is happening to you. And she says, "You can stop trying so hard now." Just that. Simple. And something in your chest loosens. Because you have been trying hard, haven't you? Trying to manage everyone's reaction. Trying to look acceptable. Trying to be wanted. Trying to be impressive. Trying to prove there is nothing soft inside you. But here, softness is not a problem. Softness is the material. Can be shaped. Can be cared for. It can be guided into something calm and obedient. Not broken. Refined. That is the word. Refined. A man who learns relaxed submission becomes easier to be around. Less reactive. Less defensive. Less desperate to make every moment about his pride. He listens better. He notices more. He becomes pleasant, useful, reliable, and there is a deep power in becoming pleasant to the right woman. Not weak, pleasant. A man who can bring peace instead of noise becomes valuable. Now breathe again. In and out. Good. Imagine another everyday scene. You are visiting her home. It is warm, clean, softly lit. She doesn't rush to entertain you. She doesn't perform. She simply exists in her space with confidence. She points to the chair and tells you to sit. You sit. She asks if you can hand her the glass on the table. You do. She asks if you can lower your voice a little because the evening is calm. You do. And instead of feeling insulted, you feel relieved. Because you don't have to guess. You don't have to chase. You don't have to win her attention through noise. You simply respond. That is a beautiful thing for a man who is tired of performing. Now imagine she corrects you gently. Not like that, sweetheart. Try again. And you do. Not with resentment. Not with attitude. You try again because correction from the right woman feels like attention. It means she is still engaged, still shaping you, still bothering to make you better. And when you finally do it right, she gives you that little look of approval. Small, controlled, enough. And you feel proud in a quiet way. Not proud like ego, proud like a petal opening toward warmth. That is relaxed submission. The pleasure of becoming easier. The pleasure of being shaped without violence. The pleasure of knowing a woman can lead you into calm. Now let's make the world around that feeling a little bigger. Imagine a society where this kind of feminine steadiness is normal. Therapy offices led by women. Schools run by women. Companies shaped by women who value order, presentation, emotional awareness, and service. Men are not erased. They are trained to contribute better, to speak less carelessly, to listen before reacting, to notice when women carry invisible burdens and step in without making themselves the hero. A man brings coffee because it helps. A man carries bags because he can. A man accepts correction because resistance would waste everyone's time. A man becomes proud of being dependable. Doesn't that sound calmer than the world outside? Less noise, less posturing, less childish male competition, more structure, more softness, more feminine standards. And yes, some men would hate that. They would call it unfair because they confuse losing automatic privilege with being harmed. But a man like you would adapt. More than adapt, you would feel something open in you. Because a world with clear feminine authority gives your submissive side a place to breathe. You would wake up knowing that helpfulness is respected, knowing that attentiveness matters, knowing that a woman's instruction is not an attack on you. It is a chance to become useful. Now let that idea become personal. Not all women, not every stranger, not foolishly. You are still an adult. You still have judgment. But when you choose to enter a feminine-led space, when you choose this kind of fantasy, when you choose this voice in this room in this mood, you can let yourself experience it fully, safely, clearly, as role play, as relaxation, as a private psychological atmosphere. And in that atmosphere, you are allowed to feel submissive, allowed to enjoy it, allowed to be softer than usual, allowed to need guidance, allowed to let a mature feminine presence take the lead. There. That's the permission. You don't need to steal it. You don't need to hide it from yourself. You can simply receive it. Now listen carefully. For the next few moments, I want you to imagine your body becoming heavier in a comforting way. Not trapped, rested, your legs calm, your hands still, your chest open, your breathing smooth, your thoughts slower like they are walking instead of running. And every time you hear my voice return to the same calm rhythm, you remember that you don't need to do anything impressive. You only need to follow, breathe, listen, relax, respond. That is enough. Good. You are doing very well. And I want you to let that praise land. Don't push it away. Don't make a joke. Don't tense up. Just receive it. You are doing very well. There is something very sweet about a man who can receive praise without becoming arrogant. It makes him easier to guide, easier to trust, easier to keep close. And you do want to be easier, don't you? Not easy in a careless way, easy in a calm way, easy to speak to. Easy to guide, easy to settle, easy to bring into a better mood. A woman with experience appreciates that. She doesn't want to wrestle with a man's ego every 5 minutes. She wants him mature enough to know when to soften. And that is what you are practicing now. Softening, not disappearing. Softening. There is still a self there, still a mind, still choices, but the edges become smoother. The defensive walls become lower. The need to prove becomes less urgent. And underneath all of that, there is a calmer man, a more obedient man, a man who can admit that being gently handled by a confident woman feels good. Now answer one more question. Do you like how calm you feel right now? Good. Do you like how naturally you've been listening? Good. Do you like the idea that a mature woman can guide you into a softer place without needing to force anything? Very good. Then keep that. Let this become the theme of the session. She doesn't force. She invites. She doesn't chase. She receives. She doesn't beg for your surrender. She makes surrender feel like relief. And you follow because some part of you knows this is what you came for. A calmer mind, a softer body, a more honest relationship with your own submissive side. A place where you don't have to pretend. Good. Now imagine yourself after this session. Not asleep, not dazed, just calmer. Maybe you stand up a little slower. Maybe the room feels warmer. Maybe you notice that your body remembers the feeling of being guided. The next time you hear a soft, confident female voice, you may remember this calm. The next time you sit down to relax, you may remember how pleasant it was to let go. The next time you feel yourself trying too hard, maybe a quieter thought appears. Relax. Listen. You don't have to fight everything. That is enough. We don't need anything extreme. Small changes are more believable, and believable changes last longer. Now I'm going to bring you back gently. You'll return feeling calm, clear, and comfortable. Not confused, not overwhelmed, just relaxed, steady, and present. I'll count from 5 up to 1. With each number, you become a little more awake, bringing back only what feels useful, peaceful, and comfortable. 5. Feeling the chair beneath you. 4. Breathing naturally, body calm. 3. Awareness returning to the room. 2. Mind clear, eyes ready to open. 1. Awake, relaxed, present. Good. Welcome back, sweetheart. You did very well.